Hello everybody, this is Will from You Know Nothing and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this one. Today we're going to be going through my top 10 moments from episode 2 of Game of Thrones season 8. This episode is called A Night of the Seven Kingdoms and we'll get into that a little bit later. But as always, if you're hyped for Game of Thrones and you just want to support me, hit the like button down below, subscribe for more Game of Thrones videos, check out some of my other ones, and let's get into the top 10 moments from this episode. So number 10, we have Jaime arriving at Winterfell / his Bran scene. So at the end of the last episode, we had the OMG moment with Jaime arriving. We open up with Dany scolding him, saying, "I've heard tales of the Kingslayer. Me and my brother, we were planning on what we would do to him when we find him." But Jaime doesn't apologise to anyone in that room. He says, "If I was put in the same situation again, I would do exactly the same thing. I did what I did because we were at war and for my family." And then Bran comes in and goes, "The things we do for love," which is what Jaime said just before he pushed Bran out of the tower, which was awesome. But then Brienne comes in and says that Jaime is a man of honour. Sansa, you wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for Jaime. And Sansa trusts Brienne, so she's like, yeah, that's all good with me now. That's good with me, dog. Which leads into number 9, Tyrion's mistakes coming back to haunt him. Dany is really angry with Tyrion. She can't believe that he trusted Cersei to actually bring army to the north. But probably she doesn't believe that she actually thought that herself. She probably feels stupid herself. Now, this isn't the first mistake that Tyrion has made. One of his political decisions back in Meereen almost led to everything being destroyed until Dany came back with the dragons and wrecked everyone. So Tyrion is not in Dany's good books at the moment. But there's also a really nice Jaime and Tyrion reunion, which is the first time they're in Winterfell together. They're reminiscing of the past when Jaime was like Prince Charming and Tyrion was just a drunk horror. But I like these two characters together. And then Tyrion also makes a note about, I wish Father could be here to see his two sons defending Winterfell, because he wouldn't have liked that. Tyrion also mentions how he wants to die, which possibly could be foreshadowing something. I hope he doesn't die, but you never know. And it's exactly what he said in the past. He wants to die drunk with wine and a girl's mouth around his member. Number 8, we get the Night's Watch reunion. We have Ed, Sam and Jon looking out from the castle like they did on the wall in season 8, staring out, saying, "And now our watch begins." I love these two characters, and they also mentioned Pip and Gren, rest in peace. And Tormund too as well, I guess he kind of fits into that reunion. And Sam's also saying that he's going to fight, whereas Jon's like, you can go in the crypts, right? Because Sam's not the best fighter, but then Sam's like, "I was the first man to kill a White Walker, don't you know? Go on, Sam lad." And number 7, right in this scene, we finally see Ghost. He's not been in the TV show since season 6. They cut out a scene last season, and now he's in this. Granted, he doesn't do much. He's just sat there being a good boy. But Ghost is here. Number 6, we finally find out the Night King's target, according to Bran, that is. And the Night King's target, of course, is Bran. I was right again. Lots of people were right about this. The Night King actor said before the season in an interview that he did that the Night King has a target, and we'll find out who that is in this season. And according to Bran, it is him. Because the Night King wants to get the Three-Eyed Ravens. He's been hunting down the Three-Eyed Ravens in the past. He's already killed one of them, and now he wants to get Bran. Bran's got his mark on him, so he knows exactly where he is. And the Night King wants to eradicate every memory in the world. As Bran is obviously a living memory of everything in the world, it makes sense for him to go for Bran. Bran comes up with a plan. He wants to use himself as bait because he knows the Night King's going to come for him, and he's going to wait for him in the Godswood, and the Night King knows exactly where he is. But we've got a target. Number 5, Arya gets her sword. But it's not the sword that she asked for, it's the different sword. I don't know how I felt about this scene, because obviously I like two characters and they're going to get together, but then you're like, Arya's like a little girl. So I think the most searched thing on Google is probably how old is Maisie Williams? Because I searched that too. Turns out she's 22. She was surprised about him being a Baratheon, but obviously I didn't change anything in the scene. She's going to get a sick weapon. She wanted to know what it was like before, obviously, everyone dies. So you can't blame her for that. Number 4, we have the Sansa and Daenerys chat. Now, before Daenerys comes in the room, Sansa is talking to Jon Royce, and she was talking to him kind of mysteriously. When Dany comes in the room, they're like, "Oh, we're not doing anything here. Nothing's going on here." And she was speaking to him in the previous episode, like just slightly off camera. So I think there could be something that Sansa's possibly planning, you know, like how she did with the Battle of the Bastards, when we didn't know what she was planning until the last second, and they came in and saved the day. I might do a video on that separately, so if you want to see that, subscribe to my channel and check out my videos in the coming days, because I think there could be something to do with that. But we get Sansa and Dany talking. They've kind of not been trusting each other and going against each other slightly, because Sansa doesn't trust Dany with Jon, etc, etc. But They were kind of getting together, saying that family's complicated, which is kind of a setup for what happens later on with Jon and Dany. But they were connected because they're saying that they're both women and they're both overcoming literally everything that comes in their way. And they also joke about Jon being short, which was a reference to Khal Drogo, because she was like, someone else that I loved, but he was not as short. So that's definitely Khal Drogo. Number 3, Sir Brienne. Brienne gets what she's always wanted to become an official knight, knighted by Jaime of all people. This scene's quite funny as well. We get loads of different characters that don't kind of seem to fit together, like Sir Davos, both the Lannisters, Brienne, Pod, Tormund, and there's a funny Tormund, Brienne and Jaime love triangle going on, but Brienne's having none of it. She doesn't let Podrick have any wine because she's like, the battle could start at any moment, but then Tyrion fills his cup up all the way to the top anyway, which is quite funny. There's lots of setting up for Brienne and Jaime's relationship, which could possibly be leading to something later in the series, and perhaps Jaime even sacrificing himself for Brienne, completing his redemption arc, which is something that I've mentioned in a previous video. I think that could still happen, maybe even in the next episode. Number 2, Dany finds out about Jon. Jon is in the crypts looking at Lyanna Stark, who we know is his mother, and Dany walks in, and it's about time that Jon tells her the truth, because Jon's been acting a little bit weird about Daenerys throughout the episode. When they're making the battle plans, he doesn't look at her much, and he's like, Your Grace, and just walks away. She knows something's up. She goes to find him, and he tells her that he is actually a Targaryen. She doesn't believe him at first. She's like, your brother and your best friend are the only proof that you have of this. Obviously, you're going to say that. But we all know it's true. However, this takes away literally everything that Dany has believed and strived for her whole life. After the Battle of Winterfell, what will happen between them? I feel like it's going to cause a rift between them, especially because they might not want to be in a relationship together if they're related, but more importantly for Dany, it takes away her identity. That's all she's known, is the Iron Throne. If that gets taken away from her, what's she going to do? Until number 1 happens, the dead have arrived at Winterfell. This has been a build-up in the episode, getting everything ready for the fight, but now they're here. The next episode is going to be insane. It's going to be the biggest battle in TV history, bigger than the Helm's Deep scene in Lord of the Rings. Who's going to die? I think quite a lot of people will. I'll do a separate video on that though, on who I think is going to die. But I think they're going to escape, and I'm not sure if the Night King is even actually going to turn up, because right at the end we see lots of White Walkers, but not the Night King himself, which would have been a good shot if they were to show the Night King. Everyone knows him. They're like, oh, he's here. They don't even show the dragon, or we don't even hear a noise of the dragon roaring, so is he even going to be there? I think he's going to get his minions to wreck them, because obviously if the Night King dies, then that's game over already. All the Whites will die. He's brought them back to life. I don't think Bran's plan will work because of this, because the Night King isn't going to turn up. But we'll see in the next episode. It's going to be absolutely insane. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will definitely have more theory videos, more talky videos, probably even previewing the Battle of Winterfell, because it's going to be such a big episode, one of the biggest episodes, if not the biggest episode of Game of Thrones history. Smash the like button if you're excited. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all on my next video. Adios.